Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes, and it is 12 p.m. on a Wednesday, so you already know what time it is. It is Club Creative Hour, and I'm super excited about my guest today. We're sitting down with an artist whose sound feels like a shifting, soulful, impossible to pin to just one genre masterpiece. Suffolk's own Niiasii is a singer, songwriter, and guitarist, blending pop, R&B, and alternative influences into something refreshingly original. Through projects like The Art of Changing Form and her recent EP, A Girl Can Dream, she's created a world where self-discovery and transformation are central themes. From dreamy ballads to guitar-driven anthems, her music captures the beauty of becoming the alt-pop star that the world needs today. So today we're diving into that journey. Niiasii, welcome to Club Creative, girl.
Ooh, you ate that. Thank you for having me.
You know what I mean? I'm so happy to have you here today. Yes, absolutely. And I like the introduction to be like, I want you to really understand, like, I'm really feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Yes, of course. Now, the first time I actually saw you perform, and I was like, wow, taken, was during your performance at Bay Day over the summer. I was hosting, and I think were you coming down from Richmond or something? You might have, oh, no, it was a part of your tour.
Yeah, I was still here, though.
Okay, yeah. But when I saw your performance, I was completely taken away. I loved, of course, how you were playing your guitar. I loved your look. I loved your sound. Like, it all is just super all-encompassing. So I was like, yeah, we got to get up here on Club Creative.
Thank you.
Of course. And you did just wrap up your tour last week. Or not last week. Last month, was it?
Yeah.
How was that? That was a long tour.
It was very grueling, but it was very, I don't know, it was a fun experience. It was a lot of work, but I feel that now that I've gotten the first one out the way and I understand like how to curate it and how the process goes, I think moving forward it's going to be, I don't know, necessarily easier, but I have laid down the groundwork for doing it more.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. What was like the most memorable part of your tour, you would say, or like the biggest lesson that you learned from it?
The biggest lesson I learned is that you really can't take no for an answer in anything, especially if you are a boss or like a leader in building your brand or whatever. And since I'm independent, everything falls on my shoulders at the end of the day. So I kind of just had to learn how to dig deep and remain relentless in the pursuit of all the things that I wanted on this journey. But I would say the most memorable thing, I think it would probably be my DC stop. That was my first time performing out of state, and I wasn't expecting the room to be so full of people. And I don't know, it was just a crazy experience. I sold so much merch. It was just, I don't know, it was like a dream come true. I wasn't expecting all that. So
wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. That sounds like it was just an out of this world experience, especially given how long, technically short, but how long your process has been in getting to this point. I know that you started creating, or you put out your first project when you were 16, right? Mm-hmm. But I know that there's a journey behind that probably a lot of people didn't see. So when did you actually begin making your music and like, you know, using that as a form of output, creative output for yourself?
So I was about 8 years old when I started singing. I used to do like talent shows, little things like that as a kid. And then when I was about 14, in high school, I started taking music a lot more seriously. I was actually in a girl group temporarily.
Oh, okay, girl group.
And then, yeah, it was about 16. That's when I was just like, let me do my solo thing. And I just knew that I wanted to put out music. And I don't know, I figured out a lot of things just on my own, a lot of trial and error. And around, about 16, that's when I started dropping stuff.
Okay, so do you remember like what it was like putting out that project at 16 or your first performance around that time?
I remember like, what was that like? Okay,
because
like
you've done so much since then. It's like, yeah.
Because I'm trying to get back into the mindset of how I felt like in high school. I don't know, it was weird because it wasn't like a whole lot of people around me doing that. And I think I was more worried about how I was perceived back then than I am now. Just, you know, like being in high school and things like that. But I remember it was very liberating and exciting when I finally dropped my first project and I was doing like little performances. I remember like one of my first performances as a teenager, I was like at, what is it called? Slover Library. Like I was just doing little stuff, but it was, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I loved the way that I felt after I did everything. So I just kept going.
Wow. And here you are today. So you said that one of your first performances was at the Slover. And that's still a pretty big deal. I feel like, especially at such a young age, you're still performing in front of a lot of people. And the Slover is like, it's not a small place. I mean, it feels pretty fancy to me when I walk in there. So it's like, I can understand like feeling like, wow, this is really cool. Like this is happening. And I know you said during high school, you were more so concerned. Well, not concerned, but like it was a part of your thoughts, like how you were being perceived. What was your experience like when you started actually putting out your music and people started finding out like this is your talent, this is what you do?
I feel like it was like mixed reactions. Like, of course, there were a lot of people that were in support of me and like were really feeling it. And I'm like, oh, y'all like the way this sound? Okay. But then there's also, you know, you're going to deal with people that are like, I don't know, a little nice, nasty, a little shade back then. But I don't know, it was mixed. But I think that was a good thing because it taught me to not be so reliant on other people's validation for what I have going on. So.
Girl, period. Lessons that a lot of people are still learning. So that's definitely admirable. Now, obviously, I see this gorgeous alt pop princess now, but has this always been your style, or is this something that kind of developed as your career has began to grow?
I would say that I've always been pretty like eccentric. But I would say, like, the older I've gotten, the more free I've become in my self-expression, and also having access to more resources and like skills, like, because I've always been doing my own hair and things like that. So like my hair is one way that I really love to express myself on stage and off. So it's just like the older I've gotten, the more resources that I've had, the less that I've cared. I've just, I don't know, blossomed into this.
Girl, I love it. I love everything about it. Like, it's just, like I said, it eats and it's really giving authentically you, which is a really big thing, you know, really important, especially when it comes to creatives. Now, of course, your music. We got to get into it. And I was listening to it all this morning because I like to make sure I'm refreshed. Yes, of course. And I love the current project, or your most recent one, A Girl Can Dream. It has this theme that a lot of us girls, I feel, and even, you know, dreamers alike, just have or can relate to. Like, of course, there's love, there's longing for a future that isn't here yet, but believing that it's on the way. There's manifesting. One of the songs, I think it was I Want More. That's like my mantra now. Like I'm listening to that. But there's people, you know, doubting. There's all of these things happening. So tell me about what this EP really means to you, especially being that as you're getting more comfortable in your craft, you're more open about who you are, what you want, what you know, how you like to present. Tell me about what went into making this specific piece.
Well, this project came at an extremely transitional and I would say pretty difficult period in my life. I hadn't dropped a project since 2023, I think, and I was just in this weird space. I was working this 9-to-5 job that was not in alignment with me or where I wanted to be at all. I felt very repressed and misunderstood, and I just knew that my life could be more than what I could see. And I had a lot of faith that things were going to get better, but it was just like, I don't know how this is going to happen. So in the meantime, until I get to where I know I want to be, I'm going to just pour out everything I'm feeling into this music. And hopefully that can be the vessel to get me where I want to go. And yeah, I just poured my heart out a lot in all of those songs. And I think I kind of used my own music as inspiration to help me do the tour and get through all of that, to continue to promote it and get to where I'm at now. I'm happy to say that I have quit that job and she's a full-time entrepreneur.
Go, girl. Can I get an applause real quick? That's so admirable.
Yeah.
That, like, it's really a testament to when you want something and you work towards it, you can really make anything happen. Like, girl, sure. I'm watching it in the flesh. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. Niiasii in the building for Club Creative on Hot 91, the soul of VA. Hot 91, the soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes here with Niiasii for Club Creative Hour today. And I definitely have to get in number one. I don't know why I kept mistaking her as being someone from Richmond. I don't know where I got that from. But apparently I'm not the only one. But Niiasii is from Suffolk. And being from Suffolk, how would you say that your environment, because... Well, what part of Suffolk first? I lived there for a while, but like
near, you know, like Nansemond River.
Okay, yeah.
Over there.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that part of Suffolk. That's exactly what I would be thinking of. How did your environment shape you as an artist / creative? Even if it's like it encouraged you to want to be different, but How did it shape you?
I would say because it's like so dry and country that there wasn't a lot for me to do besides just be in my room all day playing my guitar and writing music. So I mean, I guess it was helpful in that sense, but I love where I come from. I love the peace of like the quiet of Suffolk, and I love like coming back from tours out of state or in different cities, and it's just like calm and relaxing. It's my favorite place to write music, actually.
At home?
Yeah.
I love that. And I know that you, one of my favorite songs by you was written, you said you wrote it in your bedroom, and you knew you had to have like, you had to be a one-woman band for that video. But I admire how you play guitar too. Like I said, have a musical background myself, girl. Like I play the guitar. I grew up in a very musical household. And I don't know if you have siblings or anything like that. But how did they respond to kind of your artistry? Like, did they support you in making your music, or your family in general? Like, what role did they play in your music?
My family has been extremely supportive in my journey. My older sister is actually a choreographer, so early on, she was helping to choreograph my music videos and helping me to direct. She was my makeup artist, helping me style my clothes. Like, my older sister helped me a lot in my early years. My little brother is also extremely supportive. Everyone is always there to help me in any ways that they can. My bestie's here today recording my BTS.
Shout out bestie.
Yes, my family has always been extremely supportive. Would not be able to do all of this stuff without them, for sure.
Absolutely. And so I'm assuming like now they are probably over the moon given all that you're doing, each place that you've been. It's like, she's doing it, but I saw it happen from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing. I love making them proud.
I love that. That is excellent. Now, in making music, because I know you said, again, at home is your favorite place to write. You've probably seen yourself go through different phases, you know, as you grow in life and everything like that. So what kind of things have you uncovered about yourself in writing your music after traveling and then coming back home, different experiences, whatever the case may be? How have you, uncovered different parts of your identity via writing?
I would definitely say that as I'm getting older and I guess like stepping into womanhood, it was like a major transition from all these like teeny bop songs I was making, and then like life getting a little bit more real and just you're going through different experiences. I think I learned more about my strength, and I learned more about, I guess, trying to just stay true to myself and what matters to me and what I feel like I want to talk about, if that makes sense.
Yes, most definitely. And I know like in that, when you're uncovering parts of yourself and people are watching you go through those experiences, sometimes it can make it more only in my experience, it makes it kind of interesting to be around people who have seen me as one part of myself and then grow into a different part. So have you ever experienced that as far as even in your friend group, with your family, like just different parts of you having to be exposed either through your music or through growth and development in general? How did they respond to that? Or how do you even, I don't know, I guess cope with people responding to your changes, your differences as you get older, especially as an artist?
I think, one thing I've learned is that I can't control anybody outside of myself. And I think that the people that are meant to be in my circle and meant to be in my life are always going to be there no matter how I evolve. And I'm at a certain like level of detachment with all people that, if people fall off because of how I've changed, it's okay. Like, nothing that's meant for me is ever going to miss me. Nobody that's meant for me is ever going to miss me. So it is what it is.
These are lessons that people learn really late in life. And you're just like giving them out for free. Like, the gems are actually crazy, but I 100% agree with that sentiment. Like, that is so important. And so I guess that also goes into how it's so easy for you to be authentically yourself, especially presenting. People will see a Black girl, alternative, pink hair, outfits, just now it's giving. It's definitely giving, but not everybody is comfortable walking around with what they want to wear. So even in that, it's like I said, just really inspirational and really admirable to see, like, girl, you're really putting on for all of the people who are afraid to do this. Like, middle school me is actually screaming right now. Now, also in my show in general, and just in my life, mental health is super important to me. I think taking care of your mind is one of the best investments that you can make in this life. So especially when it comes to creatives, again, we are incessantly outputting, like putting different parts of ourselves on display for other people to see, to comment on, to enjoy, but nonetheless, you are giving so much. So how do you go about refilling yourself? Like, what do you do to take care of Niiasii?
Well, for one, I'm very deeply spiritual. I have a very strong relationship with God, so I feel like God and reading my Bible and praying and all that stuff definitely helps me to recenter my peace and stay focused. I also like to just isolate myself a lot, especially after doing a long stream of shows or just having to be around a ton of people. I really like to be alone, or I like to do solo trips or solo hikes and be out in nature, things like that, just grounding things.
I love that. Absolutely. Grounding is really key. Being outside, okay, the nature sounds like it does something for sure. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we talked about what other forms of writing that you do as well, outside of your singing, outside of your music. And you said that you write poetry sometimes. Mm-hmm. So do you ever use writing as a form of, I guess, self-therapy, as a form of getting things out of your mind and onto paper? What role does that play in your mental health?
Oh, absolutely. One thing about me, it'd be a ton of rants up in here. But sometimes you can't say everything you want to say to other people. So I love a good journaling session. I love to write to get things out. It makes me feel so much lighter.
Yes,
sure.
Totally. I can agree with that. And I can tell based on even songs like A Girl Can Dream and Want More, that music works as a form of release for you. Mm-hmm. So when are the times that you find yourself picking up your pen to write? What does end up inspiring you to, instead of journaling, I'm actually writing a song right now based off of my experience?
It's so funny because it happens really randomly. If there's maybe say something intense just happened and I'm feeling super emotional, maybe 2 lines will come into my head, and if something is starting to flow in my mind, I'm I have to stop what I'm doing and get this idea out. It usually happens like that. Or I could be grocery shopping and then I don't know, something just rhymes and I'm ooh, let me write that down.
Oh, that's a song.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. And like I said, we definitely have to get a little more into the EP because, like I said, I was listening to it front and back for the past 2 days because it's just it's a manifesto, and I'm excited to see it actually happening and then what the future is going to hold with that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit tight. We still have Niiasii in the building for Club Creative on Hot 91, the soul of VA. The soul of VA. I'm Alana Mercedes here for Club Creative. We have Niiasii, the alt pop princess, in the building. Now, like I said, Niiasii, I know you just got off a tour. And it was a very long tour, so I'm sure you're slow down, girl. But what is in store for you? What's coming up that you can share or cannot share, whatever?
Okay, well, we haven't made any official announcements yet, but I do have new music on the way. And at the top of the year, there will be more shows in more cities and more places, but I can't say too much about all that right now. But my next show will be December 5th in Richmond, Virginia at Bandito. So if you guys want to see me headline before I start my next slew of shows, then y'all should pop out.
Awesome.
Oh, I also have a winter residency happening at Gallery 5 in Richmond. Forgot about that.
Wow.
That starts in December too.
Go girl, a residency? Oh my gosh, that is awesome. That's amazing. And you said that's in Richmond? Mm-hmm. No wonder people think you live in Richmond, girl.
That's what I'm saying.
Now, I've seen you featured, I believe, on one other work, at least on Apple Music. That's what I saw. But are there any features that you would like to see, like you could see yourself in, or that you would see for your music? Anybody, whether it's Virginia or an international star, whatever the case may be, who would you like to do a feature with, you think, at some point in time?
So many people. There's a pop artist named Precious that I really, really admire. She's based in Atlanta. There's also, do you know who Natanya is?
No, I've never heard of her.
She got this song called Guitar. I don't know. She's she kind of just had her debut, I guess, this year, but her sound kind of reminds me of myself. Probably her. And of course, Willow. Oh my God.
I can see that.
I would love a Willow feature.
Yes, I can see the Willow feature for sure. And you said the other artist, her name is Natanya? Mm-hmm. I got to look into her for sure. Yeah. And then obviously, we got to know. We have shows coming up. We want to make sure that we're abreast when the new music happens. So where can people find you? Where can they listen to your music? How do we keep up with Niiasii?
Well, the best way to find everything for me is my website. It's www.niiasii.com, Niiasii. You can find all of my socials, my streaming links, all of my work. Everything is there.
Awesome. One place in a package.
Yes.
And then, of course, just last question. You're doing a lot of things, like living the dream that a lot of girls I feel have or are afraid to do or aspire to do, whatever the case may be. You're creating music to be enjoyed by thousands and thousands of people, going on tour. You're being yourself through your music. You're showing up just as you, which is super admirable, like I say. So what do you say to those who might be afraid to take that first step to going public with their craft or going public with their music, whatever that might look like?
I would just say that you have to remember that this is your life. You only really get one shot at it, and to not waste it. And I also think that if you have any goal, passion, or dream, desire in your heart, God placed that there for a reason. And don't let outside forces hold you back from fulfilling the destiny that was put inside of you, because it's gonna happen for you. So yeah,
drop the mic. That's the sermon, y'all. Like, that is truly it. And you know what? I needed to hear that too. Like, I'm really about to go all in. That is so, girl, like I said, you have such a great head on your shoulders. Like, I see your career going super far. And I can only imagine what the next 3 or 4 years is going to look like. Like, I can genuinely only imagine. But like I said, if you need a morning mantra, like you need something to really get you up and going, listen to A Girl Can Dream EP. Like, seriously, listen to that, because I'm really that's in my rotation now at this point. It's just, I feel like it's a manifesto. Like, it makes things happen. So, yes. Niiasii, thank you so much for joining me for Club Creative Hour today. It's been an absolute pleasure really getting to get into your craft and know who you are as an artist and what you have going on in the future. I cannot wait to see you shine, girl. Like, I see it. It's happening. So thank you. Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you stay tuned. Have your mental health moment with Mercedes coming up on Hot 91, the soul of VA.